All right, what's up, my brothers? We got a sponsored request today from a young gentleman in Sweden that's struggling with a YouTube channel and a book that he's released. Let's hop right into it and see what his request says. He says in the subject line, reach more readers and grow YouTube. Hey, Rich, thank you for all your work that you've done to improve men's lives. Read your book, The Unplugged Alpha. Great read, helping men avoid making bad decisions and ingrain the mindset of chase excellence, not women. Doing my best to live by that motto and 100% focus on reaching my goals. Batman origin story, 30-year-old from Sweden, 2 university degrees, one in law and one in business. Sounds fancy, but it's papers on a wall in mahogany with little utility as I want to operate my own business. My self-education and reading has been much more valuable. In the process of taking over my father's business, which has been successful for many years in the wood trading industry. Okay, so he's an author, he's a YouTuber, and he's also, it looks like, in wood trading with his old man. All right, on to my question. I run a small YouTube channel called Based Bros, and I've put it up over here. We'll take a look at it in a second. I generally don't show links that people provide me unless it's in the body of the email. So it's a good and clever way to get some exposure to your channel on my channel, I suppose. So anyway, he runs a YouTube channel called Base Brothers since 2019, which focuses on male self-improvement. One of the definitions of based is to live a life authentic to oneself, which I am a big believer in, and thus the channel name. I've also self-published a book on it. I think one of the problems that you're going to have with based, if we're being honest, is it's not mainstream language. A guy my age is not going to read a book like that, is not going to follow a channel like that, which is totally fine because you're 30 and you probably want to appeal to guys your age or younger, I would imagine, based on the language used. But whenever I hear like bizarre terms like base or, something that's used completely out of context, I just kind of shrug it off. I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. But again, I assume I'm not your target audience. Anyway, so channel name, I've also self-published a book on Amazon called Based, Mental, Physical, and Spiritual Mastery, which has been received well with over 60 reviews, of which are 77% are 5 out of 5. It contains knowledge that has drastically improved my life as a man, and I'm glad to see that it is now helping other men. Another YouTuber I followed called Alicia made a shout out of my book on his channel as he thought it was great, which I'm very proud of. All right, that's always helpful. However, I'm not reaching as many readers as I'd like, and my channel growth is extremely slow with over 300 published videos yet and not even monetized after. So for those of you that don't know, you need to have 4,000 watch hours on YouTube to monetize the channel and 1,000 subs. I have multiple channels. In fact, the guy that runs my clips channel set up another channel. I think it's called Rich Cooper Unplugged. And we passed monetization after a month and a half. So it says something if you're not getting the kind of reach after 2019, because I mean, you're basically coming up on well over 3.5 years. I'm not sure when in 2019 you opened it, but you should be monetized by now. That's not a good sign. We'll try to figure out why in a second. I know my videos are slow paced and have low drama, which might not appeal to the masses, but I've been able to keep up one video per week because I truly enjoy it and I don't want to ruin that. All right. Grateful to receive your advice on how I could reach more readers and viewers as you have a lot of experience in business, YouTube, and authorship. Keep up the great work. Da, da, da. Okay, so let's go to the channel, Base Brothers. First thing I always check is the about. It's got 100,000 views, set up May 14th, 2019. He's got his links over here. It doesn't have any other. So first thing I'd say, dude, is you want all your social media links up over here. You can put a link over here for your book. You can put a link over here for your Discord. I think I saw somewhere like this link over here that you have up on the screen. Let me just go slightly bigger this way. This link you have up over here on the screen should be linked down over here and up over here in the banner in the cover photo of your channel. So that's one of the first things that you're missing. You don't link any other channels. That's fine. You've got the community tab being used, which is good for engagement. That's good. You have organized playlists. Not really. I only see 2 playlists there. You definitely want to organize your content in playlists. Men's advice, no FAP advice, if that's what you want to focus on. Whatever it happens to be, you should generally have, you should have about 5 or 6 playlists showing at this stage if you've got 300 videos, perhaps even more. All right, let's see what your most popular video is. Only 6,000 views, loneliness, isolation, and the Sigma male. Now, first things first, I notice over here, use a thumbnail, which you're not using today for some reason. Newest. None of these have thumbnails. You've gotten that lazy that you haven't even bothered putting thumbnails on your videos. Big no-no. This looks like one of the last ones that you've done. So maybe what you've, where you've gotten to is to the point where you're just like, F it. It's too much work. I'm not going to do thumbnails anymore, but you have to thumbnail a video and you definitely want some sort of language written up on the screen. I would recommend using Canva, canva.com. It's just a website where you can put any kind of font, any kind of lettering, any kind of not animation, but you can overlay. It's basically used for making thumbnails, for cover photos, for Instagram posts, all that sort of stuff. Definitely recommend using that for thumbnails. If you're not using it, use it. Let's go back to your popularity stuff. So you've got, I mean, you've got decent thumbs over here showing, but that's from a couple of years ago, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. You got the thumb with the bum and the cleavage showing, which I'm surprised you got by YouTube's algorithms, because if you show too much cleavage, they generally don't let you use the thumbnail. It's often defined as too sexual, which is bizarre because they let other people get away with the most bonkers stuff. So there's that. So clearly people don't really like your content. You know, if I'm being honest, if you're only getting 80 views after 9 hours of upload time, that's not good. This over here shows 6 VPH. This is a plugin, by the way, that I recommend you get, my friend, or anybody that's using YouTube. It's called vidIQ. It's just a Chrome plugin. And up at the top, it'll show you the channel stats. It'll also show you how many views per hour. So you get an idea of the consumption rate. With 1.7, like 1,700 subs, you should be getting at least 100 views per hour still in the first 10 to 12 hours. You're only getting 6, which sucks. That's not good. So I can see why you're getting discouraged. So one of the problems that you've got is that you're trying to sell a book, and like you made a big point in your request here, is you're trying to sell a book to an audience that you don't really have. It's generally build the audience, then write the book. James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits. I was at a conference in 2010-ish with him, sat at a table, and he was talking about how he built his huge email list. Because even back then, like this is, you know, we're talking like 12, 13 years ago, he had a massive email list. And he was explaining to us at a workshop that the reason why he was writing and collecting emails and putting out blogs was so that he could publish books later on. And lo and behold, I think it's Atomic Habits, if I'm not mistaken, is probably one of the best-selling books that's ever been listed for sale. It's definitely in the top 50 for sure, maybe even the top 20. It sells really well. And the reason for that is you have a book, you launch it to your audience, you have a list, you notify your audience, and they buy it. It's kind of like the same thing with YouTube. You've kind of put the buggy before the horse, if I'm being honest. So if your main goal is to sell a book, which that in itself is cool, you know, fine. It's just there's not a ton of money in it. Like you're not going to be the great success that you're expecting with a small list or a small audience. You're also relatively young. So again, you're only going to appeal to guys your age or younger, generally speaking, because guys older than you aren't going to be particularly interested in your offering. That's just how psychology goes with fellas, is, you know, they generally look at somebody when it comes to life advice, and men's self-improvement stuff is, okay, well, what have they done with their life? You know, where have they gone? The other thing that's interesting about your request too, is you said that you've got a business degree and a law degree, but I don't see any videos here where you're talking about anything to do with business or law. Your life will suck unless ... I have to confess something ... Men be wary of this. So this is kind of like clickbait titles. Which can be effective, but they're not working for you. So you're going to have to pivot. Clearly, that's not the way to go. Men suffer when they don't do this ... Right? Like it's not specific. Like why would, like, you've got to give somebody a compelling reason to click on your videos, and you're not. They suck. Generally speaking, the two most important metrics, and I'm going to tell you something right now. So I've got my course out on the School of Entrepreneurship, and I've had people ask for more lectures on how to grow on YouTube. I'm going to be adding to that in the next release in August. So I'll talk a little bit about that here in this video for this gentleman, but all the details will be in that lecture. So the two most important things that you've got to understand with attracting eyeballs on YouTube is, one, it's thumbnail title, and then it's watch time. And the thumbnail and title determines what's called the CTR, which is called a click-through rate. CTR equals click-through rate. And if you're looking at your stats and you're not getting at least a 10 to 12% click-through rate in the first day on your video sucks. The algorithms are not liking it. People watching it are not liking it. It's not going to get the reach that you want. The thing you have to understand about YouTube is it's a discovery engine, and it introduces your content to new viewers, new eyeballs. It's one of the reasons why when people get all over me about, oh, you got to go to Rumble or Odyssey and blah, 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 it's like, that's not where new viewers are. New viewers are still on YouTube. It is still one of the best places to get discovered. This is where you need to be. So there's that part of it. Click-through rate's super, super important. Again, that's all determined on, see, when you go to, let's go to the homepage here on YouTube for me. And so let's close this guy's video. And it's offering me right now a bunch of videos. Okay. It's offering me a video on my own channel. It's offering me a Tate Speech, a bike world, because I've been watching motorcycle videos, a car video, more motorcycles, something on the Bronco Raptor, my Total That Freedom YouTube channel. So it's offering all this stuff over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. And then there's a banner over here above the fold. So all of this is what I've been offered. The way that YouTube works is when you upload a video, it takes your video and your thumbnail and your title, and it offers it to subscribers and people that are unsubscribed to your channel. And if people click on it and watch it, awesome. That's going to contribute to the click-through rate. If people don't click on it, that's a bad thing. So if 100 people are offered my video here, you know, for example, like let's use my TDF video over here on how to talk to your creditors. If 100 people are offered this and only one click and watch this video, it's unlikely that YouTube's going to start showing that to other viewers or existing subscribers. If let's say 10 or a dozen or even 24 people click through, that's amazing. So check your click-through rate. Click-through rate is based entirely on thumbnails and titles, okay? That's it. So if you're sucking with thumbnails and titles, figure that out. There's lots of videos on YouTube that explain how to do better thumbnails, better titles. That's the CTR metric. The second metric that matters a lot on YouTube as well is the metric that's called watch time. So what ends up happening when you open up a YouTube video is it's like people watch and then it's like, and then it just kind of like tanks off. It's like, here, let me see if I can find one real quick on my channel here, switch account. All right, so let's use this example of a video that published 2 days ago where a dude from Australia was asking about bringing a Russian girl to Miami. And engagement, I think it's under engagement. Where's watch time? View duration. Here we go. Here we go. So how do I put this up on the screen? Let's go here. All right, so let's use this video over here for average view duration. So this is a 14-minute video. It's 14 minutes, 14 seconds. And the average duration watched here is 6 minutes and 47 seconds, which according to YouTube says it's 1 minute and 48 more than usual. So that's good, right? So, and then it shows you on day 0, day 1, day 2, and then it starts to generally taper off after day 2. You can see in the grayed out area over here, this is my typical performance. And then for this video over here, it had better than typical performance, okay? Again, thumbnail and title will get their attention to click it. It's after that people watch the content that gets them to stay on your channel. So YouTube's entire business model is let's get eyeballs on YouTube so we can serve people ads, generate revenue, and keep them clicking through to more and more videos. And the more engaging and the more useful your content is, the more that they're going to want to stick around on your channel to watch your stuff. So again, that's the second part of the equation. First part, again, is click-through rate. Second part is watch time. The more that the greater the percentage of watch time. So if they watch 90% of your video, awesome. Very unlikely though. If they're watching 50%, like if the average view duration is 50%, that's still good, believe it or not. The vast majority of people have a very small attention span. They'll click something because they like the thumbnail and title. They'll watch it. If you don't get their attention within the first few seconds, you're kind of screwed. So one of the tips and tricks I've seen guys use a lot of the times when it comes to YouTube is they'll say something in the video to encourage people to watch it right to the end. So for example, listicles can generally do well for that. And all that is, hey, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 reasons why you don't want to date a single mom, for example, right? But if you stay right to the end, I've got a bonus 6th reason, which is my own personal experience. So make sure you watch the whole video to the end. So if you kind of open the video like that, that it encourages people to not only watch every single item in your listicle, but you also encourage them to stay to the very end to get that bonus item. Now, the thing that most people suck at with YouTube is they don't really deliver great content. It's blah, blah, blah. And sometimes they just ramble on for too long, for hours at a time. Like there's live streamers that go on for hours and they keep people's attention for a very small percentage of that time. And it's very, very difficult to grow channels like that. So starting out with this channel, as you kind of are, I mean, you're not really at the start out phase anymore, but as you are right now, get your thumbnails and your titles fixed and make sure your content has got good watch time, average watch time on it. Now, after that, I wouldn't worry about the book too much until you have an audience. I think you said you had 70 reviews on the book and your channel's got 1,700 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So 70 by 1,700. Okay, so that's 4%. So let's see what it is on my channel. I've got 585,000 subs as of right now. Times 0.0. Let's go 5. And yeah, so you've actually got a higher review rate to subscriber count than I do. If I had the same review rate that you had, then I would have 29,000 reviews on my book, which I don't. I think I've got like 4,500 reviews in my books or something like that. So you're actually doing quite well as far as getting the attention of people that are watching your channel and then buying your book as a result of that. So, hat tip for you. But the problem is you've got a very small audience, only 1,700, and you're not getting a lot of views, which means a lot of people aren't going to buy it. So there's that. The other part of it too is I probably sell a good portion of my books on social media posts, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, but mostly Instagram and Twitter. And you don't even have your Instagram and Twitter linked on your YouTube channel. So how can you promote it there? You can't promote it in stories. Very, very easy. If somebody likes your book and you get a great review or somebody sends you a DM of, I really enjoyed your book. This is how it changed my life. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should, the_unplugged_alpha. That's my new handle. The other one I got locked out of. Long story, don't even ask. But if you use stories to promote your book, then it's like, hey, you take an image of that, it's swipe up, and then, take a look at my book, and they can easily buy it directly from that link. So you kind of suck at promoting the book as well. You've got a small channel. Again, you put the buggy before the horse. Those are the things that I would work on. Aside from that, the other thing that I would, of course, mention is I got a shout out here to my course, which is the School of Entrepreneurship. Enrollment opens again in August 2022, which is in a couple months. I'm recording this early June. You're going to want to put your email in there to make sure that you get subscribed and notified when it launches. And if you want, all the information about what's in the course is all below all that, with pictures of the lectures. Well, you don't get to watch the lecture, obviously, if you don't buy the course, but all the information's there. The guys that are using it right now are getting a ton of use out of it. I'm doing Zoom calls monthly. I've got bonus webinars for people with a bunch of other experience shares. So I'll leave that pinned in the top comment of this video if you want to get on that list to get notified when that launches in August. Thanks for watching. Anybody else have any tips or advice you want to give this gentleman? Give the video a thumbs up, comment below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.